What is up, guys? Amaya here. And oh, we got the matrix effects going. There we go. Alright. Alright, what's up, guys? It says I got two live viewers. What is up, fellas? If you can hear me, just kind of like put a comment or something. Today's video is about Q&As. Sorry if y'all see my side profile and everything, but basically today I'm going to be answering some questions. If you want to call in, I'll be able to hear your voice. You can ask me live. The phone number to call if you want to call in, 281-832-2098. That is my cell number. So if you want to call in, ask any questions, or post them on the comments, that's cool. So I'm just gonna like talk about just random stuff at work, not about work, but just to keep y'all a little bit informed. What I do is I'm gonna keep y'all a little bit informed. What I do is I'm gonna keep y'all a little bit informed. Yeah, mute that. Okay. There we go. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not too new with this, but all right, here we go. All right, so I want to show y'all something I'm working on today. As a mobile painter, part of what I do is I paint these, different types of odd jobs every now and then. And the one I'm painting today, or actually this week, it is like a sphere. It's actually like this giant round ball at the entrance to like this really nice neighborhood. Ooh, okay, it went away, guys. I don't know what happened here. Open sesame. There it goes. All right, so this is like, I think it's 73 inches in diameter, and it's like a giant metal sphere. It's been painted before. They use like this type of roller and spray can to paint it this reddish copper color. And they called me up. They found me online and said, "Hey, we need somebody to go out and do this mobile. Can you do it?" And of course, I was like, "Yeah, easy peasy." But this is it, guys. This thing is humongous. I had to use a ladder to get to the top, and there's actually two of them. So I prepped it today, shot some primer on a few spots that looked like it was cracking, and so yeah, but it's a pretty cool project. I think this is like one of the first, well, actually the second structural project I do. And what I did is I had the customer pick out a color. I took them like some color chips from PPG, and they just basically picked out a color. If you look like in the center, guys, you can kind of see like some swirl marks towards the middle, the top. On the top, it's just like a lot of pollen and dust that accumulated. So I had to Scotch-Brite it with water and Ajax to kind of clean it up and get it prepped, for paint tomorrow. So, hey, what's up, homie? Yeah, I know, right? When it's something different in cars, that's right. But yeah, like I was saying, this right here, basically, I think it's been painted with an oil or an acrylic latex type of paint. So I cleaned it with Ajax and a Scotch pad, the red one, and water, and I have to primer it tomorrow to seal it, and then I'll use the base coat and then clear coat. I'm using Concepts. I think it's the 2030 clear. Let me look it up real quick. I had to go with the high solids clear, guys, because this sphere is gonna be like in the sun. So it needs to last like a very long time. Concepts. Well, they didn't come up. DG concepts. Okay. I think it was no, not 2002. 2021. No, was it that one? Huh. It might be this one. 2021. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was this one. Okay, so yeah, this is the one, guys. So on a hot day, basically I would use like a hardener where it's meant for high temperatures, because it's literally like right in the sun. It's a 4:1:1. I use DT reducer and the DCX hardener. So I'm gonna shoot the base coat and then shoot this on there, and it should be good. But going back to the sphere, guys, I think the first project I did before this one, it was a structural art piece. I mean, that thing was like probably 15 feet high, and all it was just square tubing, but it was in the shape of an oil rig, and that was my first ever structural job, and this will be the second. So, but let me go back to the channel. So if y'all have any questions, or if y'all want to call in to talk to me while I'm doing this live video, you can call me up at 281-832-2098, and you'll also be recorded on YouTube. So if you have any questions, so I'm showing 4 people on there right now. So okay, what can we talk about, guys? Mobile paint and body business. Throw me some subjects. Okay, got one from Don Baba. How can I get my hands on different toners to mix paint from scratch using the paint code mixture? I did a video before on that. There are some different ways that you can get the toners for you to mix up in your setup. So whether you have a Honda, Ford, or an Altima or Nissan, whatever, you can mix up the toners. You gotta have the software. Basically, what you're gonna need is 8-ounce bottles. These 8-ounce bottles, you'll have maybe about 100 plus toners, and then you'll have your pearls. Your pearls can be anywhere from maybe 20 to like 30 different pearls. Just depends what brand of paint you're using. I used doesnt, which is made by BASF. So there is this one company, guys. Ooh, okay. If you're based out of the U.S., you can order from them. They ship nationwide, but the name of that company is called Paintball Supply. Whoops. Okay, it's not popping up. Let's see. Let's try again. Paintball Supply. Okay, so it's this one. Probably have to zoom in. Okay. So this is the logo, guys. I think they're based out of the Northeast. Saginaw, Minnesota or Michigan? One of those. I'm not too good at my abbreviations for the states, guys. But this company here, you can order all your toners from them. So let's go to their store real quick. You go to the products, okay, and then the brand that I use is called doesnt, which is going to be this one here. Okay, click on that. Now these are all the toners. Okay, you have 100, which is like a clear, transparent. Then you have your, what is it, 101? Oh, well, it's the same picture. But you look at the top, this is 100, 101 pitch control, 105, that's a white, 106, that's a pearl. And then you just click the bottle size. The 8-ounce is $20.78. and you literally order whichever one you run out of. Now they also have the crystal bases, which is the RM crystal base. Now these are the crystals. They got the 2 ounce, and I believe they also have 4 ounce, if I'm not mistaken. But this is where you order all your crystals from. So you need your bases and your crystals. If you want to get a price for everything, all your toners, your complete setup, the software, you need to call them directly and tell them that you want to get a price for a setup for diamond bases and crystals to mix up your own paint. They'll be more than happy to help you. Let them know that I referred you. And if you have any questions, just drop me, an email or a comment on the YouTube channel, and I'll try to get back to y'all. But that's where you can get your toners from. Now, this is one brand. If you want to go with PPG, you can go to any local distributor and basically tell them, look, I want to get 8 ounce bottles of all the toners to mix up PPG paint, and I need 4 ounce bottles of all the crystals, and then just tell them to price it out per ounce, or if they have like a complete package pricing. But you're probably gonna look anywhere from maybe 2,500, 3,000, all the way to maybe 5,000, 6,000 for your whole setup. You will need a computer also. I know R&M, they have an app that you can use on your phone. So if you want to use this diamond, you can actually pull up the paint code off your cell phone and then have a scale and mix it up on the scale. So that's to answer that one question. Hope it helps. Humi. Okay, this is what Humi put. When I have no work and bored, I like to experiment. I did it with a 65 Mustang, but you will never guess what I use for base and clear, and you know what is lasting so far. I don't know. Maybe did you use like the old paint, the old acrylic paint? Kind of curious what you use. Don't tell me aerosol cans, because I mean I've seen that before. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna experiment, I mean you can pretty much use whatever. I've always used like automotive paint. This structure here that I'm actually painting tomorrow, the legs I'm gonna have to paint too. Those are gonna get painted with a roller and a brush, and I'm gonna use just oil-based paint from like Home Depot. They painted the floor around the sphere, and they did some work, masonry work, and that's why it looks all splattered around it. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna paint the sphere and then clear coat it, let it dry, and then I'll paint the legs after it's dry. It's probably gonna like dry in maybe 45 minutes or so, because it's super hot. Like, I was out there today, guys, and I was sweating bullets. I mean, just going through my Gatorades and waters. But yeah, guys, so got another question. Okay, I'm just starting out. What's your best reference for advertising besides social media? More like verbal conversations with dealers. This is the area I'm struggling in. If you can let me know what state and what city are you in, and then I'll kind of go through some pointers on what you can do for the offline advertising. Just shoot me real quick a comment, what city and state. But basically, I'll tell you, like, from experience, what I did. There's a lot of small mom and pop shops here in Houston. Like, I mean, there's probably thousands. I mean, probably not like thousands, but maybe like 900 or whatever. Or maybe 1,000, over 1,000. I don't know, guys. But these are like small dealerships. Like, I'm talking about, you drive down around any corner in any neighborhood, and you'll see a lot that has 10, 15 cars, and it's a small dealership. I'm not talking about the big name brand dealerships. You know, it's a multi-million-dollar dealership, and they have like 3, 4, 500 cars in their lot. What you can do to kind of get your name out is, if you have all your materials and your equipment, your setup, you're good to go. Even if you don't have all your toners, this is for you, Don. If you don't have all your toners, what you can do is, say you go to a small mom and pop dealership, you have your tools and everything, but you don't have the toners. You go and you talk to the manager, you say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I do mobile bumper repair, I do mobile paint repair. And I'm going around picking up new accounts. I'm actually in the area, and I wanted to see if you wanted to, give me a demo to work on your car so that you see the quality of repair that I do. And if they ask you the price, don't give them a too cheap of a price. Don't give them too high of a price. Typically here in Houston, Texas, it can vary in price from anywhere from $125 to like $225. Just say, hey, look, if you got 2 cars that you want me to knock out, I'll come back and do a demo. Just let me know which ones they are. If the guy says, yeah, I got 2 cars. Here, let's go look at them right now. He's going to show you, quote him $150 per car, per bumper. That's $300, okay? Before you leave, take a picture of the VIN, and if the car's open, take a picture of the sticker in the door jamb or in the glove box that has the paint code information. So what you do is, once you leave, either that day or the day that you're going to go back to that dealership, you go and buy the paint. Now, when you buy the paint, you're going to buy like a 1 pint can. All right, you can just Google any local automotive paint and paint store in whatever city or town you're in, and have them mix it up. On average, per pint, if you order PPG, you can spend anywhere from $30 all the way up to like $60, $65 for a pint. Now that's unreduced. When you reduce it, you're gonna have 2 pints, so you won't even use the whole can. You can save it. So if you're gonna spend, let's just say average $40, it's $80 minus 300. You're gonna have $220 left after you spent money on the paint. That's assuming you have everything else, your tools and your clear and all that. And if the guy likes your work, guess what? He's gonna call you back, and that's just one account. So what you want to do is drive around and look at the dealership lots. If you see cars that are from like 2000, 2001, don't go there. If that's all they have on their front line, you want to go to the dealerships that have newer cars. We're 2019 right now, so if they have 5 years or newer on their front line, that means they're buying newer cars, and they probably get them from auction, and they're going to have dents and scratches on them. So those are the dealerships that you want to go up to and talk, the ones that have the newer cars. If they have 10, 15, or 20 cars, start on those dealerships, and then kind of work your way into the dealerships that have 50, 60, 70, 100 cars. And what will happen is that dealership knows another dealership, and they're going to talk, and they're going to say, oh yeah, I got a new guy, he paints my cars, and then they'll refer you. Or if you're painting a car on that dealership, the glass guy's going to show up, or the key guy's going to show up, the wheel guy's going to show up, the PDR guy's going to go show up, and what you have to do is you got to go up to them, do small talk, say, hey, what's up, man? My name is so-and-so, this is what I do, what do you do? You got some business cards? Just chit-chat, and give them some of your cards or give them your number, and just say, hey, if you know anybody that needs some paint work, give them my name and number, I appreciate it. Small talk, be friendly. So that's for you. And I think you said Columbia, South Carolina. Not a lot of competition here for mobile painters, which is my advantage. Okay, don't worry about the marketing. Just do really good work, man. Trust me. When you do really good work, they're going to talk about you. But you have to network with the guys that show up on the lot, and they're the ones that are going to get you to work. Okay, so it's who me. You think I'm crazy, but I have it sitting in the sun every day and the gloss is holding up. Ready? Spar urethane. I can send you a pic. Oh, okay. You know what? I've never heard of the spar urethane. I'm gonna look it up, but yeah, send me a pic, man. You send it to learnmobilepaintandbody@gmail.com. Let's see. This is the type of work I'm seeking also other than just cars. It's just a word of mouth. Or did you get this job personally? Are you talking about the sphere job? This one? This job I actually got off the website. So I have my own my own business, a website for my business on Google, on the internet, and they actually found me through the website. They submitted a form, and I called them up, and this is what they wanted to ask me about. Now, they did have two other guys go out and quote them. One of them was like a local body shop, and the problem that they had with the body shop was the body shop said, "Hey, we're gonna have to get a 60-gallon tank out there in order to do it. Do you have a 220 outlet?" And the people that were hiring for the job were like, "Well, we don't know. That's something we were hoping you would take care of." So the local body shop couldn't do it, and then I think they contacted some other company, but they also had a problem with the air compressor. That's what they were telling them. So when they called me up, I went out there, told them, and basically explained what I would do to fix it. I treated it as if it was a car, basically. And then they went ahead and accepted the bid. So yeah, having a presence online, guys, will definitely help you. So, getting a WordPress website and doing a little bit of advertising on social media, Instagram and Facebook, just to have that social presence and authority, it will help you get more jobs, such as this one right here, the sphere. So, next comment, let's see. Okay, you want to upload a video. Okay. These are a lot. These are the lots I've been starting small. I use Metalux paint line. Okay. I'm not too familiar with Metalux. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. When you're using these different paint lines, I think I've come across I think it was Mason, and what was the other one? Steves and Hecker. That's a pretty big brand. There was a few other paint lines that I've used over my career in painting cars. If you find a paint line that you have good color match, use it. If you're struggling with the color match, try to get on a paint line that has good color match. And the reason is, you can be the best body man, you can spray your clear, smooth as glass, but if the color doesn't match, I mean, nobody's gonna call you back again and say, "Hey, we got more work for you." If the color matches and you have like a little imperfection on the body, on the corner, on the edge, it's okay. Sometimes it can just slide on through, or they don't even care. It's a 3-year-old car. Nobody's gonna notice it, or they want you to redo it, but the color is spot on. Stick with a paint line that you trust, that you know when you mix it up, the color is gonna match consistently. Now, when I use Diamond, I had a few cars that I would come across that were older cars, and with time, the color fades because of the UV rays and the sun. So what I would do is I would do a 2-cup mixing, and basically when I would mix up my colors using my own toners, I would have 2 cups sitting on the same scale. On 1 cup, I put all the dark toners, the blacks, the reds, the blues, the purples, and then in the other, I put the lighter colors, the whites, the silvers, and then what I did is, these 2 cups were actually like the same formula, right? But if you mix both cups together, you're supposed to get the original formula color that you're mixing up. But because both cups are on the same scale, you zero out the scale. One has dark toners, the other one has lighter toners. What I would do is I would pour the dark toners into the lighter cup and mix it up little by little. And so in a way, I was kind of controlling the tint of the shade of the color. So let's say it was like a dark gray metallic, and I mixed it up and I did like a test panel, and the color doesn't match, it looks too dark. Then I would do the 2-cup system, and I would pour a little bit of the dark into the lighter, mix it up, look at it against the car. If it needed more, pour some more, mix it up, put it up against the car. And I would always have like a little bit of black toner in this cup. And once I had the color mixed dead on, then I would reduce this and I would spray that. So the thing with that, guys, is you do waste some paint. It takes a little bit longer, but your color match comes out a whole lot better doing that system there. So just stick with a paint line, guys, that you know is going to be always the color match to be dead on. It's going to save you a lot of headaches. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, I loaded up the video of the Mustang. It's like what, 65. All right, let's check it out. Okay. Oh, I don't think I can click on it. Okay. Huh. All right, let's see if we can go. Oh, that's not you. Okay. All right, let's go. Learn. All right, I'm gonna go check out this video real quick. Let's see. Who me? You know what? I don't even know how to get there, guys. All right, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. All right, guys. So that's that. Here, let me show y'all some more pictures of basically what I do. But let's see. Okay. So this is my iPad that you're watching right now. Let me show y'all. I did some matte black fingers. I think this is for like a Raptor or something. Those 4 of them. And you can kind of see my trailer there in the setup. That's where I work out of. And I know a lot of you have been asking, like, hey, you know, do a video of your setup. And I am, guys. I already took video. I have it. I just haven't edited it and, you know, done it. This is actually another car I did mobile. This was a pearl white. I think it was a Nissan Rogue. It had some damage on the quarter panel and the bumper. Let me see if I can find. No. As you can tell, guys, I've done a lot of brakes. Bunch of brakes, Brembo brakes. These are regular OEM brakes. Yeah, these are OEM. Now these were kind of rusted. I just used like a wire brush and took all the rust, and then I used a rust converter, and then I primed and sealed them, and then shot the base and clear. I think these right here are actually these hanging from there. So but yeah, guys, I mean, I've done a lot of, sometimes I have to do like custom matching. So this right here, on this car, I think it's like a Lambo or something. The interior was gonna have this color here, and they wanted it to match on the car on the outside. So I had to kind of spray some color. So that looks pretty close right there. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much pictures of all the stuff. Remember this one? Oh my god, this one was. I still have nightmares about this one. So this was a retail job, guys. They got, I think they rubbed up against the pole or something, and I basically painted the rear quarter bumper, rear door, and I blended into the front door. And that was a pretty big job, guys. Okay, so let me go back to the comments real quick. Okay. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. What type of paint turbine do you recommend just starting out? Okay. The turbine that I use, guys, it's a Titan cap spray. They're pretty expensive, but I'll tell you why I like using that turbine. Okay. You can use other turbines. But the problem with using a lower, I think it's this one, 115. Okay, it's about right. The problem with using a different type of turbine is most of the time it's going to have a lower pressure. This one right here, this is the exact same one that I use. Let me try to, oops, too much. Yeah, there it is. Okay. This is the Titan cap spray. I think the PSI at the gun is about 11.5. That's the pressure at the gun. Now, this is direct air, guys. This is continuous air. You hook it up to a regular outlet. It could be a house, in a garage, anywhere. You're not going to pop a breaker. And what I like about it is it doesn't build up water like an air compressor, like a tank, and there's no oil. It's just direct continuous air. And that's why I love this one so much. It's just a really good turbine. Now, if you use a different type of turbine, let me look at the pressure. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this one does 11.5 psi. It's the most power. This is a 6-stage turbine. You want to use the same type of settings as they do when they spray a car. The conventional HVLP gun, say like a Seda, DeVille Bliss, it's going to atomize the paint the same way as, you know, if you use this turbine. And so the guns that I use, they're actually made by AccuSpray. They're discontinued, but there's still some online. I bought up as many guns as I could before they closed that company down. But they are awesome guns. But this is the one I use. Now let's just say you use a smaller turbine with lower pressure. I think American Turbine is another company. Let's look it up. Okay, Fuji, yeah, Fuji makes a few turbines. Okay, let's click on that one. Okay, Fuji 2904 T70. mini mite. It's got a HVOP gun there. But see, it's a smaller unit, guys. Let's look at the PSI. Okay, 8.5 PSI. This is a 3-stage. Okay. Now it is a little bit less pressure. It's like right here, guys. It is a little bit less pressure. So what happens when you spray these different types of metallic? Sometimes you have a very fine metallic. Sometimes you have a very coarse metallic. Even though it's a correct color, like the paint is just dead on. It matches. The color match is perfect. The weather is perfect. Everything's perfect. But you have lower pressure. What happens is when it sprays that paint through that air cap, the metallics and everything are closer together. It's not atomized as much. And so what happens is all the paint's closer together, the metallics, and it looks off. You can see the difference. And it's because of the flop. If you're familiar with the flop, you know that it's the same exact color, but it's just when you look at it at a different angle, it looks either a little bit lighter or a little bit darker. So to avoid that, just get the higher pressure PSI, because you'll struggle with a lower pressure turbine. You want to spray the paint the same way they do at the factory. And that's just a tip, guys. Like, not too many people know about that. You know, a lot of guys use these lower pressure turbines, and color matching is always a problem, and it's because of that. Especially on pro jobs, you're gonna run into that problem. So let's go to the next one. That's a turbine I would recommend. 6-stage HVOP. It's 1,600, but man, it'll run forever. The one I have, it's still running strong. It's about, I think, 4 or 5 years old. It's still good. They usually try to blend everything or butt match panels if a customer doesn't want to pay extra. Okay, Alex G. If the damage on the car, let's say for example, like this one right here, when I quote the customer, I tell them, okay, you need to fix the quarter, the bumper, and the door. And then I'll tell them, because the front door has damage within a foot of the edge, you automatically have to blend into the front door. If they say they don't want to pay extra, have a great day. Good luck. This is what we charge to do the job. You never want to cut your losses, man. Like, you want to make sure that you get paid what the job is worth. You know, use good quality materials, do good work. And trust me, if the customer hears confidence in your voice and you're letting them know that the job will come out good, but you have to blend to that front door, there's no way around it. You're the professional. You have to educate them on why you have to do that extra step and why you have to charge that extra money for the material, time, and the labor. If they want to get it done for cheaper, you know, there's always a shop down the street that'll do it for less. But like they say, you get what you pay for. Never, you know, I've read a lot of books, and over the time, you know, a lot of people mentor me. Never try to sell the customer. Just educate them. Let them make the decision, but give them all the facts, all the information that they need to make the best possible decision. That's what you want to do when you're quoting on these jobs, because the ones that are always going to say, "Oh yeah, we're not going to pay that," you know, blend to the front door. Those are insurance companies. Insurance companies will nickel and dime you, and they'll say, "Nope, you can get a perfect color match. You don't have to paint that front door." But you know, they're in the insurance side of it. They're not in the body shop side of it. So technically, the book that they go by is to save the money. But if you look at the technician book for all the flag hours and everything, the proper way to refinish, you can use that card on them. Say, hey, you know, this is what iCar says. I'm iCar certified. You have to blend to the adjacent panel. And you know, if they have that option available for you know, an estimate, when they type up an estimate, you know, you can just tell the insurance adjuster, hey, you know, do you have blend time for this panel? Make sure you get that time if you do insurance work. If it's a regular customer, you can pretty much just educate them and they'll make that decision for you. Okay, what type of hardener do you use in your clear during the fall when it gets cooler? The hardener that I use, you always want to use for the faster hardener. It means it's going to dry the paint faster. When you spray it, as soon as you spray it, it starts to dry up. I think it's like the lower, for the lower temps. But I love using PPG. I've used the Concepts, and then I've also used the Deltron, and then also the Shop line. So depending on which clear you use, you can pull up the spec sheet. So what I mean by spec sheet is basically, it's a sheet that tells you about how to mix your clear coat. Now, let's go to 2K Global. Where's it at? Nope, not this one. Back. PPG 2020. Let's do that one. DCU. Okay, here we go. All right, let me try to zoom in. Okay, this is the Concepts 2021 high solids, fast dry, air dryer bake. You can put it over Deltron, Enviro-based Concept. Now these are the reducers you want to use respective to their temperatures where you're spraying. So if the outside temperature is between 60 and 70 degrees, you want to use DT860, the reducer for this clear. If it's really hot outside, let's say it's 85 degrees and above outside, you want to use a hot temperature, DT895. So the last two numbers is pretty much the temperature in reference to the temperature. So if you're painting in the fall, you want to use this reducer, and then you also want to use the appropriate hardener for that clear. Okay, now the reducer, what it does is it kind of thins it out. The hardener, it makes it start to chemically react, so it starts to harden the clear. You want to make sure that you're using both appropriately. Use the cold temperature reducer and a cold temperature hardener. Okay. When it's colder, using these chemicals, it will speed up the drying process. So make sure you use the right chemicals for the right temperature, guys. So this clear is mixed up 4 parts to 1 part, 4 to 1 to 1. So let's say you have 100 grams of clear, you're going to put 25 grams of DT reducer, and then you're going to put 25 grams of DCX hardener. Okay, now you do 2 wet coats. You do wet on wet, so you spray the clear on a bumper, let it flash for a little bit. 5-10 minutes is probably enough, and then you go back and you do a second coat. Okay, I never do more than 3 coats. Sometimes, on average, 99% of the time, I do 2 coats. If it's real windy, I'll do 1 slow coat, or like I'll go really slow on the panel, but I'm very careful with my pressure and how far away I am from the panel with my gun. Because if it's real windy and anything lands on it, it's 1 coat, you can buff it out. Versus if it's real windy, you spray 1 coat, trash lands in it, in the clear, then you do a second coat, you basically trap that dust or dirt or trash in the clear coat, and it's not going to come out. You're going to have to spray it again. And so this tells you the drying time. This clear here, the Concepts 2021, it dries, if it's 70 degrees, it will dry in about 60 to 70 minutes. You can tape over it 5 to 6 hours later. It'll air dry in 16 hours. If you have a booth and you bake it, you have to bake it at 30 minutes, for 30 minutes at 140 degrees, and then you let it cool off for about 5 minutes. Okay. So this is what the spec sheet does, guys. It kind of gives you this information. Now there's different types of clear that you can use. Oh, how you like that matrix effect? Look at that. Bam. Okay, let's go back to this one. Okay, so that's on the clear coat, guys. Thank you, Who Me, nice work, awesome, thank you. What's the best way to get small insurance jobs through the insurance company? Really, the insurance jobs come because your retail customer wants to go through their insurance. So let me explain the scenario with the insurance company. Let me do something real quick, guys. I gotta do this because if not, my camera turns off. Let it know it's still recording. Best way to get small insurance jobs. Okay, so a retail customer has a bumper job. They messed up their bumper and they want you to fix it. You can charge $450, $425, and probably get that job. And this is why. Their insurance deductible is probably $500. If they pay only $425 and they fix it like new, that means that they don't use their insurance because they're going to pay out of pocket. They're going to pay you to fix it. They're paying less than their deductible. It doesn't go on their record, on their history. And since it's a minor cosmetic repair, it doesn't affect the structural integrity of the car. It's just a cosmetic repair, subsurface. It's a win-win. So they'll probably just pay you out of pocket. Now, the times that they probably will go through the insurance if it's a big job, and let's say it's like a whole side of the car, like this one here. This Nissan, I think it was a Nissan Rogue or something. Yeah. I can't remember what I charged this guy. But I think it was definitely 1,000 plus, over 1,000, maybe 1,600. I'm not too sure, guys. But if you do a job like this, the insurance company is going to talk to the client. The client's going to talk to them. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I got a mobile guy. He's going to come to my house and fix it. The client can pick which body shop to use, okay? They're the ones that say, I want to use this shop. The insurance company cannot tell the customer what shop to take it to. It's the customer's job. It's their responsibility. So when you submit your estimate, it's probably going to be an estimate that's either written on paper, it's written on Microsoft Word, and they're gonna, you're gonna send that estimate to the insurance company. The insurance company's gonna look at it, look at your estimate, and they're probably gonna laugh. Like, no joke. Like, they're gonna laugh at your estimate. And they're gonna reply back to you and they're gonna say, oh, hey, we can't honor this estimate because it's not in the format that we use for the industry. So in other words, they're basically saying that they're not taking your estimate because it's not written up with a software, an estimating software for vehicles. So they're not going to be able to write you a check. So the customer is told this information, and now the customer can't use their insurance. the insurance company will say, yeah, we'll write a check, but they just need to give us a proper estimate. But they can't even give us a proper estimate, right? So what I had to learn the hard way is you have to use the estimating software. There is a company based out of Florida that you can actually use the software, and it's a pretty cool estimating software, guys. Cheaper than anything else out there. The name of that company is called WebEst. Okay, just web-est.com. Okay, collision repair software. You can use this, guys, to type up your estimates and send them to insurance companies. Now, you will have to spend money to use this software. But let me tell you guys, there is nothing else out there that you will find. This is the best bang for your buck, okay? Now, they do offer payment plans. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so when I talked to the agent that I talked to from their company, I think it's like $1,300 for the year. Okay, they can break it down into smaller payments. So you could use the software and type up your estimate, submit it to the insurance companies, and they'll accept it. If you do a monthly payment plan, you would probably pay about $108 a month for this software, and you can use it to do as many estimates as you want, and it makes you look professional. It makes you look like, oh, okay, you know, he's got his stuff going on. Look them up on YouTube. They're also WebEst support. This will show you all the stuff that you can do, guys, to write up your estimates. They even have some, I guess, some videos to show you how to write up estimates. So this is like the best software, hands down, to use, guys. There are other alternatives, but you're talking about spending thousands and thousands of dollars to use, you know. So you could also look up parts. I think this is like one of the biggest ones. The estimating software is from Mitchell. Now, WebEst, it actually uses, I think, the Mitchell database. What it'll do is, if let's say you need to buy a headlight, or you need to buy a side marker lamp for the front bumper, or maybe one of the sensors, this software will tell you the price based on your local area, what it costs. Then you could put a 25% markup on your estimate. So not only is the customer paying for that part, but you're making a markup also on there. You can add pictures to it. You can send this estimate to your customer via text message. This is just hands down, guys. Like, you have to get this estimating software. But yeah, so that's for the insurance job, guys. Let me go back to comments. I think that's it right there. Okay. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Wow, this has been a long video, 54 minutes. Wow. Okay. So that's far your tank for clear, but of course that's not what I used on the other cars. It was just an experiment. It turned out good. Sold up well. All right. Well, hey, as long as it comes out good, that's awesome. But all right, guys, I just want to tell y'all I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for watching my channel, and stay tuned. I will try to help you guys out. With any other questions that y'all have, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let all your friends know who are other mobile painters about this channel, so we can all connect, share ideas, and talk over YouTube or whatever. I am planning on doing a website and a Facebook and tying everything together, having some courses that I can teach you individually, very detailed courses on how to do certain stuff, whether it's marketing, whether it's your setup, or the different types of equipment that you can use, the newest technology, paint, information out there to help the mobile paint technician just do bigger and better jobs. So thanks, guys. I'll see you around. Have a good one and stay safe. Peace out.